More than 700 million Indians will be going to the polls starting on Thursday to cast votes for a new federal government. The national elections will be staggered over the course of a month, and the main battle will be between the Congress party-led government and the opposition Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, the Hindu nationalist BJP is looking to make a comeback 5 years after being dislodged by its chief rival. The BJP was founded in 1980, emerging from the remnants of the Jana Sangh, which has been around since independence. The BJP stands for what it calls Hindu values and customs. It sees itself as a defender of the Hindu faith. And it's that issue that led to its sudden surge in its popularity. That occurred after Hindu extremists destroyed a mosque in the town of Ayodhya, saying it had been built on the birthplace of a Hindu god. In 2004, the BJP won just over 20% of the vote, making it the second largest party. And this man is a major player in the rise of the party. L.K. Advani is one of the two founder members of the party, and he will lead his party in these elections. Matt McClure reports.
5 years after they were voted out of office, India's Bharatiya Janata Party says it's ready to regain power at the national level. Led now by 81-year-old Lal Krishna Advani, the BJP believes that voters hope the ailing economy can be better managed, that they fear the country's dominant religion is under attack. His manifesto is a fine balancing act. There are promises to help the poor, create jobs for the country's youth, empower women in society. But at the very end, in smaller print, the BJP says it's going to defend Indian civilization, a platform plank to appeal to the Hindu nationalists that have always been its core supporters. It was 1992 when the BJP gained national prominence. Advani led a march to the small town of Ayodhya. The crowd raged out of control and destroyed the Babri Mosque. The start of a campaign the BJP continues to this day to replace it with a temple on a site Hindus believe is the birthplace of the deity Ram. Many of the foot soldiers in that battle were members of the RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Officially, this cultural organization has no ties to the BJP, but its ranks have supplied most of the party's top leaders, and almost all of its cadres are BJP supporters. It aims to defend the Hindu faith, but critics have frequently charged the RSS with spreading hate against religious minorities.
The BJP is honest.
Still, the BJP has people like Mukhtar Abbas on its national executive, a Muslim who believes the ruling Congress party has done little for this downtrodden minority.
The hypocritic friends of the Muslims, they exploited Indian Muslim from the last 60 years for their own political gain. Our aim is to bring common Indians, including the Muslims, in a mainstream of the progress.
India conducted 3 underground nuclear tests.
The nuclear test was one of Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee's first acts after the BJP came to power in 1998. A move that made India a diplomatic and trade pariah, but one that was so popular at home the party won at the polls a year later. A decision this leader says remains one of the BJP's crowning achievements.
And the opposition here said, because of this international sanction, the backbone of India would have to bend. Neither did we submit to a discriminatory regime, nor did we allow the people of the country to fail. We managed the economy.
Despite that, voters chose the Congress party in the 2004 polls, rejecting the BJP's slogan that India was shining. The party has a new nationalistic pitch this time, but some observers wonder whether it will sell.
But they need to hold on to their core. How do they do that while reaching out beyond their core? So they're really trying to do two different things at one time, and it's very difficult to succeed at that.
The party faithful may be counted on to turn out at the polls, but will the BJP's message resonate with the rest of India? Matt McClure, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
Well, earlier I spoke to Arati Jarath, who's the senior editor of the English language newspaper Daily News and Analysis. She says it's hard to predict the outcome of this election as no single party will dominate.
The BJP, in fact, if you read the manifesto carefully, they have talked about the temple, but it comes sort of right at the end and almost like an afterthought. And it's not a kind of triumphalist claim that we will build the temple at all costs, you know. You see, the problem the BJP faces today is that, of course, it has to keep its core voter, but it also has to build on that and reach out to a much larger section of people if it wants to come back to power. And to do that, it has to talk about issues that go beyond the temple. And there's a very interesting thing. Yesterday, at a rally in Ayodhya, the sort of face of the Hindutva slogan, Narendra Modi, the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he addressed a rally in Ayodhya and he didn't mention the temple even once. He only talked about development.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure how much the temple is really an issue for the BJP this time.
All right, well, you talk about the BJP needing to build out its constituency, but it's the same in a way for Congress, isn't it? More and more, both the BJP and Congress are having to rely on other smaller groups to gain any kind of real power and coalition power in the government. Are these parties themselves fracturing?
Absolutely.
Is there an emergent power in India now?
I don't see any single power emerging. There are different powers in different states, and that's why it's so difficult to predict what's going to happen in these elections, because actually the picture is so different from state to state. The main problem for both the national parties is that I think that, they are failing to reflect aspirations of emerging groups. Democracy has empowered so many groups that didn't have a voice in India before. And somehow, over the last 20 years, we're seeing that both the national parties are failing to reflect the aspirations of these groups.
Okay.
And these groups are turning more and more to smaller parties, which they consider their parties.
Okay,
and that's why the picture is fracturing so much.